Well, leaders of ASEAN have opened the biannual summit in Jakarta, seeking a united voice to tackle more than 2.5 years of crisis in Myanmar. Observers have criticised the bloc for the lack of progress, but for host Joko Widodo, absence of progress does not necessarily reflect a lack of unity. Details on CNA's Chani Bhavani.
An eventful first day at the ASEAN summit here in Jakarta. President Joko Widodo right off the bat addressing concerns on the bloc's united stand in his opening remarks and dismissing those concerns, saying that unity does not mean an absence of differing opinions. Mr. Widodo also took a moment to underscore that while future challenges are becoming increasingly difficult and causing a struggle of influence between major powers, ASEAN, he said, has agreed to reject being a proxy for any power and that ASEAN will work together for peace and prosperity. Now, day one also saw the opening of the first high-level ASEAN Indo-Pacific Forum, a flagship event. In remarks at the opening, Mr. Widodo highlighting the three main agenda for the AIPF, that's green infrastructure and resilient supply chains, sustainable and innovative financing and digital transformation and the creative economy. Now, President Widodo also brought to the spotlight the contribution of ASEAN member states and partners, resulting in 93 cooperation projects valued at a little over $38 billion and 73 potential projects valued at nearly $18 billion. Now, rounding off the day's events, the retreat session where two key issues were in focus. The first, Myanmar yet again. That's the review of the implementation of the 5-point consensus, while the second was the implementation of the ASEAN outlook on the Indo-Pacific. Now, Mr. Widodo clearly stating that the 5-point consensus will remain as ASEAN's main guidance.
Indonesia melihat sudah mulai muncul trust antara satu stakeholder dengan yang lain, kecuali dengan junta militer. Inilah saatnya ASEAN terus mendorong dilakukannya inklusif national dialogue sebagai kunci penyelesaian krisis politik yang Myanmar own dan Myanmar led.
Lastly, the Philippines has spoken up, saying that it is ready to chair ASEAN in 2026 instead of Myanmar, as ASEAN continues to grapple with engaging the country's military leaders. Now, I've seen a draft copy of the chairman's statement, and this potential change in chairmanship for 2026 does appear to be reflected in the draft statement for now. Chani Vatwani, CNA, Jakarta.